so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down.
What's a random statistic about yourself you'd love to know, but never will? What percentage of my own history have I forgotten?
I legit remember like 10% of my entire childhood. Middle school I have maybe 3 memories of, and high school maybe 10. I don't remember 90% of the names of people I went to school with. Every time someone makes a statement like, "Remember how we used to do this?" No. I really don't. It's honestly frustrating.
The worst is parents or grandparents reminiscing about trips they took you on, sometimes quite expensive ones to make you happy, for example Disneyland, and you don't remember squat about it.
Speaking as a dad here, you don't take little kids on trips to places so they'll remember. You take them on trips to places so you'll remember. I just got back from a week-long Disney cruise with my 3 kids, 8, 5, and 2. 5 and 2 will probably not remember the trip at all. 8 might remember some of it, but I know my wife and I will remember their excitement and wonder on that trip for the rest of our beeping lives. That's what the trip is for.
Similar to this, I go on a lot of holidays with my mom who has early stage Alzheimer's. We do it so she will get to see the world before she dies, but also so I'll have memories of her doing so and being together in these places having fun.
How many times my advice has actually helped the person asking? How many killers I have talked to in my life?
I'm personally sure about 2. I remember speaking to this 14 to 16-year-old. He seemed okay. His voice was quiet and spoke a bit higher-pitched for his age, which at first I found weird. He ended up killing his parents after lifelong abuse he told me about. Sexual assault by both parents at babysitter, friend of his father's, physical abuse by parents, bullying at school, you name it. He even showed me cigarettes, some burns he had on his arms, some were new, some were scars from his childhood. I knew him because I went to the same holiday place as him and we became friends there. He ended up not coming back one summer and checked his Facebook. He gave me it the last time I saw him. He went off to kill both parents and attempted to kill his babysitter, but he got away with only a scar down his arm and a small one on his neck. The lad ended up killing himself after posting something along the lines of "F this world" and "F the child protector services for not doing anything sooner." Yes, he always told me about how he tried contacting him, but his parents would do the bare minimum to keep him and to make themselves look good. He had no proof of being raped as he was forced to shower and burn the clothes also. Honestly, don't hate him for killing his parents. I do miss him and he was a genuinely nice kid. He loved animals. Playing in the park and push kids on swings if the parents were busy, and even took dogs for walks for the elderly people at the park. He only ever wanted to kill those 3 people, and there was no signs of him wanting to go after his ex-bullies. I found out years later that some people, especially males who speak in a quieter, higher-pitched voice, suffered from a lot of sexual abuse, rape, etc. as a kid, so that was fun to learn. Miss him a lot, but he would have been put in jail for life, so I don't really blame him.
I think it'd be cool to know how many people's lives I've significantly impacted, positive or negative. I can think of a few people who have influenced my life, who probably have no idea that I still think about them from time to time. I'd like to know how many photos I'm in the background of. How often people thought of me
while in the shower,
Naked.
as opposed to clothed showering.
Map discovery percentage. How many people have ever had a crush on me? How many times I've walked past someone that I've walked past before without realizing? How many miles have I scrolled?
Same but metric.
How many times I've made someone happy?
This just made me realize that a lot of the times that I've made people happy is when they're having fun bullying me.
How many people actually judge me during the school day?
People judge you a lot less than you think. 99% of people are too busy thinking about who's judging them.
Wouldn't say that I judge people, I analyze them. I analyze how you look, what you wear, how you act, but then I forget about you in 5 minutes.
I want to know how many people died as an indirect result of my actions. The number of people who actually like me, as opposed to the number of people who just put up with me out of politeness, I assume. The anxiety is real. How many times was I near a buried treasure? How many girls were attracted to me and wanted me to ask them out?
I went to a wedding of an old high school friend a few years ago and we all got to reminiscing about the past. The subject came around to a girl that I used to hang out with that I had a crush on. My friends all said, yeah, she totally had a crush on you too. Didn't you notice? Turns out everybody knew but me. Funnily enough, my friends each had similar stories about different girls that we all knew liked them without them knowing. The world would just be a better place if guys in high school weren't so damn oblivious and girls were a little more obvious. We all just spend the rest of the night sitting around talking about missed opportunities from the past.
I wanna know what my 1-10 rating is, like it just floats above people's head like, this person thinks you're a beep. How much of my horrible behavior and life choices is a product of my childhood and how much is just me? How many girls were attracted to me and wanted me to ask them out?
I went to a wedding of an old high school friend a few years ago and we all got to reminiscing about the past. The subject came around to a girl that I used to hang out with that I had a crush on. My friends all said, yeah, she totally had a crush on you too. Didn't you notice? Turns out everybody knew but me. Funnily enough, my friends each had similar stories about different girls that we all knew liked them without them knowing. The world would just be a better place if guys in high school weren't so damn oblivious and girls were a little more obvious. We all just spend the rest of the night sitting around talking about missed opportunities from the past.
Yup. Old guy here. Here is pretty much every story. You know that girl you liked? She liked you too. Oh, you liked her for like 3 years? She liked you for about 6 weeks in there, but never changed her behavior along the way, so there is no moment to focus on where you won her over. It just happened, and then it stopped happening. But now she remembers you as a guy she liked at one point. Edit. Or she changed her behavior in such a subtle way, you didn't realize it until you were like 32 years old, sitting on your back porch, and something reminded you of her. And you remembered her writing you what you assumed was a purely platonic note, or her brushing past you in the hallway chest first. Or asking you what you considered an oddball question at the time and smiling at your answer, or saying something that didn't make sense to you at the time in the context. Or 100 other possible things that on their own meant nothing at the time.
How many times people were actually too busy to hang out?
If this helps, I'm the always too busy type of person. About half of the time I actually don't have enough time to make plans comfortably. The other half is often not personal. I might tell that even to people I like to hang out with. I just need more alone time than others. It's not that I don't want to be with them, I just want some time to spend without being bothered by anyone.
How many people have wanted to approach me but decided against it? How many guys have wanted to ask me out? More interesting, How many women have wanted to ask me out but thought I was completely straight because I did and still do enjoy the D? How many been had inside me?
Life pro tip from all the Ds in the world. You can ask us out too. If the guy says no, he'll be riding that one for a week, and if he says yes, probably even longer, if you know what I mean.
I'm a dude, and I'm completely straight, but damn, getting asked out by a chick is the best feeling ever. Married, so I turn them all down, but whenever some cougar or gay guy gives me their number, I always hang it on the fridge and tell my wife. I have options. I get a confidence boost and my wife gets a laugh, so it's a win-win. Edit. Jesus sweet, thanks for the silver. Bonus story. There is a very flamboyantly gay man who works the drive-thru window at the McDonald's nearest to my house. Guy compliments me every time I see him, so whenever I'm feeling down I just go get something from McDonald's. 100% straight, but I love that man. He has turned my day around on multiple occasions.
I worked as a waiter for a summer, and got hit on by a gay guy. I'm a straight dude. It was only time I've ever been hit on. I felt that confidence boost for a beeping month, and he'd cold DM me after finding me on Facebook by combing through the restaurant's 100+ likes. A little creepy, enough to make me never hit on a waitress, but man, let me tell you, I've never felt better in my life.
The first time I've ever been truly hit on, 21F, was in December 2018. My girlfriend and I were traveling and we were at a Greyhound bus station for a 6-hour layover at midnight. There was no one there except us and a guy sleeping in the corner of the station. We were outside while she was having a smoke, and these two guys, dressed the same, were walking towards the station out of all the fog. Very creepy at the time, lol. They walked up to us, asked if my girlfriend had a cigarette to spare, and then they proceeded to start conversation. Only one of them was really talking and he started to hit on us. I was like, oh, we're actually dating. Like, we're not straight. Sorry. And he was like, oh wow, so you're fully lesbian? And I'm like, yes, fully lesbian. Lol. He later told us that they just got released from prison and it made sense as to why they had matching outfits. So yeah. My first time getting hit on was by recently released prisoners by the sex that I'm not even attracted to. Incredible.